I'm trying to be more,
Nice.
yeah, I'm trying to be more open-minded, right? I decided,
Are
like,
they becoming your family too? I'm just kidding, because you know.
no, I'm
they're my
trying
family, so.
to ride their coattails into lucrative business.
Well, I mean, hey, they're making money. We might as well. We gotta watch it.
Yeah, they're selling us their advertising, fuckers.
Not really, because I don't watch the commercials. But I mean, they brand everything that they do.
Okay. Well, should we get started? You want to bring us in there, honey?
Okay.
Can I do it? Can I do it?
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 7 of episode 7 of Reality Riffs podcast.
Woo!
Woo! And I guess we're doing episode 7 of season 11 of Vanderpump Rules.
Yes.
How did I do? Did I do good?
Great. It's
Okay.
titled Written in the Stars.
Written in the stars. All right, take it away.
The group begins to mend their friendships. Lala expresses her desire to be a mother again. But before we get into the episode, is there anything you'd like to discuss?
Well, let's see. We had a Simon and Garfunkel cover band come to the school this week. That was pretty. They were pretty good because they didn't do just Simon and Garfunkel. Like they did some Cat Stevens, right? They did some Wild World. I was tapping my foot to that. And they're pretty good musicians.
Did they dress up or did they just sing?
No, they just sang. They weren't like they're like we have our own band. We just like to do this too. So, because the dude played like, it sounded like they're kind of a jam band. Like he was just kind of going nuts on the old acoustic guitar. Like I could definitely see like a bunch of hippies sitting around doing that thing.
Well, that's fun.
So, anyways, yeah, that was cool. And the Grizz are playing the Bobcats for a number 15 seed or a 16 seed in the NCAA tournament. So, that's pretty much the Super Bowl of
life is good. So if
Montana basketball.
If Phil seems to be talking faster than usual, it's because we're on a deadline, people. No, just kidding. We can always pause, and then that's the beauty of editing. You can pause.
I'd like to get this out sooner so people might actually look at this, but we'll play it by ear.
And then we also took a little trip to see my parents.
Oh yeah, it was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was
nice and relaxing.
My dad and my nephew. It would have been nice to see everyone else, but it's so weird how they do basketball on Sundays now.
Well, it was but it was like traveling ball, right? It wasn't like school.
It feels weird to have.
Well, and this is like it's not an everyday sort of thing. Like the tournament's like it's a once in a year thing, right? Like it's not.
I know. But okay, so that's about all that. I mean.
Yeah. Let's get in the episode.
Okay, so they're returning home from Tahoe, and basically we start the episode with Tom coming into the house, and Anne's ready for the Barbie movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know I was going to see you. And in this scene, it was really crazy to see those two interact because they actually seemed like friends.
Mm-hmm.
In this, it didn't feel like, okay, Anne, show up at this time and we need you to hit these talking points.
Yeah.
And she didn't feel weird or awkward around him. they seemed, friendly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think like so she asked him how the trip went, and he was, feeling like he was kind of getting back into the group. There was some drama, of course, but
Yeah, they play the montage of it.
um, and was this
Hmm.
was this when he was like, oh, and Lala was mad at me about something? I can't exactly remember. I wish I had my notes. Anyways,
I don't remember him talking about Lala in this scene, but that doesn't mean they didn't.
it was just a passing comment that he made, and it might have been something that he said to Lisa later on about somebody. But anyways, we'll just assume it was about Lala. And
Oh, I remember him talking about
it was just like
Lala
passing
later, I
yeah.
think.
But it was just a passing comment, and one of the things that caught me was just like for some reason. Like, I don't know why everybody's still mad at me.
Yeah,
but
I think that was with Lisa. But yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, well then we'll just move past that and see if it comes up.
Well, it's weird because I told you since we've been doing this podcast, I watch first and take notes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watch a second time to form thoughts and opinions. Like, I don't. But this time on my second viewing, I started having way different thoughts and opinions. So I had to grab my notebook and pen and I just started scribbling new things. And this was one of them because, well, I was right in the beginning, but the first viewing, because we're off to Villa Rosa where Sheena goes to tattle on Ariana for not wanting mutual friends with Tom. It's like, it's Sheena, and this is where I got pissed off because I realized on the second watching that Sheena, from this scene all the way through, first off, what really annoys me is how every time we see her, we have to hear her tell us how she never talks about herself or puts herself first. But what the second viewing made me feel was like, fuck that girl. Fuck that girl. You know why? Because she is she is letting herself be used as a tool to make Ariana look unlikable.
Mm-hmm.
And Ariana's supposed to be her best friend. She's having all this conflict and trauma over not wanting to piss her off. Well, as soon as she sees this episode, she's going to be fairly unhappy. I would be if my best friend was talking all that mad shit. She starts by shit talking Ariana. I mean, and then Lisa asks her, do you think Tom is more upset about losing Ariana or your friendship? And she goes, his friendship with me. It's like, are you fucking delusional? I mean, oh my God. And that's the thing with Tom. He can make you feel like the most important person in the atmosphere. I mean, he does it later with James.
Right.
But like, and then she's wah about Ariana's making millions. I could not believe this is your best friend, Sheena. Fuck you. I couldn't imagine any of my even just friends or acquaintances talking that bad. And it's like she went to tattle on Ariana with Lisa because she needs Lisa to go, and because if Lisa's on her side, I think she feels like, oh, mom said you have to forgive Tom. Or Mom says it's okay that I do.
Yeah.
Oh, but anyway, and then they talk about dancing and stuff. But what are your thoughts? I'm sorry, I just was so passionate in that scene. I mean, the second time I watched
Well,
it.
I think that Sheena's demanding a little much. Like, okay, so I get her point
But why
that
did she have to go to Lisa's?
because she's going to Mom,
Yeah.
you know, and I mean,
Ugh.
but that's, you know, it's what they do. They're kids, you know, like, well, who else are you going to go to? So, um, yeah, I just feel like I totally lost my train of thought.
She's villainizing Ariana, kind of.
Oh yeah, she
Because
is villainizing Ariana. Like I do see her point in that um, maybe Ariana's pushing a little bit too hard,
and
but
that's-
I think all Sheena needs to do if she wants to go hang out with Tom, go hang out with Tom.
yeah,
Don't
be
fucking
like Lala.
don't fucking but just don't go and talk to Ariana about Tom. Like
And now she's talking shit with Lisa.
mhm.
So you might as well be hanging out with Tom. That'd be better than talk. I mean,
Well, she's really bitter about the Dancing with the Stars thing.
so bitter
you know, like
and pathetic. Oh,
yeah, yeah.
but did you?
She's supposed to be the star.
Oh, I know. She hired a choreographer. What'd she say?
Oh,
Dance
oh yeah,
just
back
in
when,
case.
oh yeah, and then it was in the confessional when she was like, oh yeah,
That was
oh
such
back
bitter
when
Betty energy.
back when Ariana used to be one of my backup dancers.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, and I kind of saw that flashback, and I'm like, well, I mean, it's not like any of you are going to be on Broadway anytime soon. You know what I mean?
Except for Ariana is.
Well, she is, but I would say this though about Chicago isn't really a dancing musical.
I've never seen it.
See, that surprises me because
It is
I actually
surprising,
liked
isn't
it.
Yeah, but you know how I am about musicals? Because I'm like, why are you singing at me? Just say what you're gonna say.
Well, I
don't-
think I liked sort of the jazzy style of Chicago,
Yeah,
right?
you like jazz.
Because I watched Moulin Rouge too, and that was just fucking.
See, I never watched Moulin Rouge either.
That was just too. It was like a 2.5 hour long music video from MTV. Like
It looks beautiful. It's like The Great Gatsby. I never watched that, but the commercials and trailers and whatnot, it looked like it was shot beautifully. But I thought the same about Moulin Rouge. It looked like cinematic art, really, like I would have loved that. But I didn't like Jude Law or Nicole Kidman back then. I don't know why. And I hated musicals. I think one of the few musicals that I actually like is the original Hairspray with Ricky Lake. I love that movie. But they don't sing in that one. They sing in the John Travolta version.
Well, I'll tell you what, you've sat through enough Disney musicals now.
Yeah.
That you could probably sit through an adult themed one for a minute. So let's watch Chicago one of these days.
Yeah,
I've watched When Harry Met Sally with You.
That's my only that's like the only romantic.
Which, don't get me wrong,
movie
I do like When Harry Met Sally. I think it would be even better on stage.
Yeah.
Because it's basically, I mean, that's all it is. It's just they're using New York City as a stage, but the movie's all dialogue.
Yeah, you mentioned that to me this New Year's because that's kind of our thing is to watch it on New Year's Eve. And I thought, oh my gosh, yes, I'm sure it's been done, but I mean, in a big way on Broadway would be pretty cool, especially if they could get Meg Ryan and Billy Crystal, because with enough stage makeup, they might look young enough to
Oh shit! You could do it. You could do it really easy on.
We wouldn't have Carrie Fisher though.
I'd want to do it in a small stage.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, basically, you got 4 characters.
Students.
Yeah, you could do it with a green screen.
You need the couch,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe get some of their parents
Yeah.
to come and tell their love stories.
Mm-hmm.
I love that movie. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so Aunt Sheena apparently is the only one that should be allowed to go on Dancing with the Stars, is what we glean from this scene. And then we're off to have coffee with Ariana and Lala. And the one thing that the first viewing I was totally on Sheena's side, and then I gotta snap myself back into reality because I think for one, I forget how fresh it is to Ariana and those guys, and two, I forget what a psycho I can be. And like, if I were Ariana in this case, I'd be Ariana.
Yeah, but
I'd be so much Ariana.
Well,
and she's not even being that bad, but it's funny when she's like, and I never get angry. Cue the montage of
well,
all
see,
the
that
time
that was one of my
angry.
that was going to be one of my questions. Okay, so they show 3 times when she got angry. So my question is that like so the montage isn't telling me as a new viewer very much there. Was she only angry 3 times? Or is this this is like 3 of the I mean, because that last one too, you got to give. I mean, you can't blame her about the.
No,
she don't give a fuck about Raquel.
I was just about to say that. It's funny because I feel like Tom must have even production in his back pocket because they're trying to. Because I feel like anytime we find Ariana unlikable, it's producers, getting it, because what the audience does need is more context, because even I forget this was a big huge thing in my life, just reading up on it.
Yeah.
I mean, she's living it and we're watching it. And so I gotta give her a lot more grace too. It's like, but no, she really doesn't get angry to the point where she's gonna raise her voice. It's more she won't hold back on her opinions, but no, she doesn't just start raging.
Because I totally feel like I'm not.
Most of the time,
I'm not a rager.
No. Oh, but
until I rage.
Until you rage, you don't rage.
No, I'd snap on the kid sometimes. Like every once in a while, I'm just like.
I think
I don't know how much longer I can look at this wrapper on the floor.
I don't know how many more times I can ask them to pick it up off the floor. No, but you don't rage. I've never actually, it might be kind of fun to see it, but
yeah, we're not much of a rager kind of.
No,
we're a stoner family. We're pretty chill.
I and I'm uncomfortable with conflict, so I just avoid it. I mean, now I'm not so much a people pleaser. I just avoid. So I don't have to worry about putting a fake smile on my face and whatever. I'll just.
Well, I'm not necessarily afraid of conflict. What I am afraid of is acting out when I'm angry. So, like, if I'm pissed off, I'll walk off and go cool down and then be like, okay, now let's hash this out. That. Because I know that if I'm angry and trying to communicate, I
wish I were better at that.
I'm not very thoughtful, and I say stupid, mean shit.
Yeah, you're really good about being able to just take a time out where, in the heat of it, let's fight. No, just kidding. But
Oh yeah, no, you're totally like let's scream this out.
well, circles become circles.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, but I did find Lala to be a voice of reason, telling Ariana she should help Sheena out for that picture because she's like, because that's when that picture in Tahoe comes up and they're walking down the
Mm,
street and um Lala's like, did you even speak up or to come to her defense? And Ariana, when she said, no, I'm not going to put myself out. And then Lala's like, not even for your friend? And I was really on
mm,
Lala's because I even told you that when we were
yeah.
watching it. I was like, yeah, that was just an innocent photo. And I was like, and Ariana came to her defense. And then I didn't know that Lala had to tell her to do that.
Mm,
That was crazy because I do remember Lala saying, hey, because she did issue that statement. And then, but I didn't know it was, pretty much reluctantly.
yeah. Like
It's kind of
basically
fun seeing this.
basically getting called out on camera and then being like shit, now I got to. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well, I mean, who knows? I mean, she might have been like, that's reasonable. Like, yeah, you're right. I'm not going to sit there and go like Ariana was like, fuck you. I guess I'll have to do this just because. But,
well, and then but Ariana says something about how Sandoval will try to ice her out. And in my mind, I was thinking she's doing that herself by cutting like being that
well,
rigid or that.
well, but I mean, I think in that respect, though, like
Mm-hmm.
Ariana needs to decide, like, if she doesn't want Sandoval in her life, then she needs to quit their mutual place of employment and go find a different place to work.
Yeah, I feel like she's doing the adult thing,
Mm,
and um also she's confiding with her friend about all this. Like, if I weren't being filmed, I could see myself having the same attitude, same conversation,
mm,
but I'd be way too aware of cameras. I don't know. I don't, I'd make awful television. But then the other girls are meeting for cocktails, and I was, I mean, by the end of this episode, from this scene and then to the end, I was like, woo, Katie woke up. She
mm,
came to play. I was pretty excited. I was, woo. But okay, so we got Christina Kelly,
mm-hmm.
Sheena, Lala, and Katie. And first, Sheena, oh, poor Summer Moon fell and broke
Broker,
her
yeah.
arm. I mean, she's already having fears of this. I can't even imagine watching your child break a bone.
I don't know. I remember watching Piper
Yeah, but
tumble
she
off the bed.
wasn't broken.
But
We were terrified that she
that
would.
3 seconds of silence before the scream started.
Yeah, and imagine if her arm had been broken when we found, or when we picked her.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Anyway,
But little kids, they're pretty
resilient.
resilient. They're supposed to
You
heal up
practically
pretty quick.
bounce.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. Don't throw your children.
It's always weird that whole. Remember, like they put you in that little room, they give you that video about don't throw the baby. And I remember sitting myself watching that video, going, "Who the fuck would throw their baby, man? That's
I
that's
know.
insane." And then I remember sitting there with Piper at 3 o'clock in the morning, and she's
You
crying and
never.
fussing. No, but I'm just saying, I've had thoughts. I'm just like, ugh.
I could see if somebody were coming down from drugs or I don't know, drunk.
Oh yeah, it was
or...
never anything that I would ever act on, right? But it was just kind of like this flash, like this image in my mind.
But
right?
I always thought it was so sad that they have to send home those brochures. And in there, it actually says, do not shake your baby like you just brought home a Cabbage Patch Kid doll.
Well,
you know, like don't shake the baby, the head might fall off. It's like human beings that bring home a baby need to know this, but yeah, I guess it was.
Well, when you're tired
That
and you're
shaking-
emotional and you're
Yeah.
apparently it happens must happen a lot more than
No,
you suspect.
I'm not trying to say anything bad because the hormonal stuff is a real deal. I'm just thinking to myself, this is wild. When I was reading it, it was excuse me, it was like reading an instruction manual for a fragile toy, more so than just like parenting tips. Because that's what I was led to believe. This is like a parenting tip thing, and it's just like.
Well, it's probably good that you're aware going home that this thing is fragile.
Oh shoot! I messed up. This is where Sheena starts talking about because Christina Kelly, that is her forte. Is she comes in?
Yeah, who's she from? What's her deal? I don't even know this chick.
She started.
Can I say chick? Is that offensive? I don't want to say chick if it's offensive.
I say chick. I don't know who would be offended.
Okay, so who's this chick?
Anyway, Christina Kelly, she was on the like a friend of character, sort of how her role is now. Just small bits and pieces. She was working with everyone at SUR in the beginning, and she's just one of the friends. Like she's one of Katie's real life close friends. I'm thinking because anyway, she's always been the one. Like she will stir a pot just by asking questions, and she's the one. Lisa didn't ask this. She's the one that asked Sheena because Sheena like begins by telling everyone that that this was the first time Tom's apology was sincere and he cried and then, it's all bullshit, but okay, Sheena, if you believe that.
Well, and this is when Katie starts rolling her eyes, right? And
yeah, but first Christina asked her
when I rolled my eyes
if she was thinking Tom cares more about her than Ariana, and she starts going on about how Ariana's making millions and how she does think Tom, misses her friendship more. It's like, oh, okay, whatever. But
because
and then
it was because their relationship was so bad.
Yeah, and then she kind of, to take focus off her, she like brings up Jax and Brittany, and that was crazy because she's like, yeah, even Jax and Brittany, and then they show a montage of Brittany yelling at Jax and how they were able to get married, and Sheena's like, there's even, or one of them said that. It might have been Christina or Katie. It could have been any one of them. And said there's still talk of Jax, and now real time, Brittany and Jax are divorcing. They weren't splitting up at the time of this luncheon, and so that's just, or I guess cocktail hour.
Yeah,
but anyway, I was just wondering what you thought, because I thought Katie was asking some good questions, and like she's cold, but she's right on.
When it comes to Tom Sandoval, me and Katie are seeing eye to eye. Like I feel like I see right through this piece of shit.
Well, and I feel so bad for her because you know how Sheena was like, It's supposed to be about me. It's never about me. Wah, wah, wah. Well, you know what? It's never about Katie. And Katie lost her husband to
Mm-hmm.
fucking Sandoval. Nobody ever rushed in and made it about Katie when Schwartz would cheat on her. You know, if
Mm-hmm.
anyone has something to bitch about never making it about her, it's Katie, you know? Like, I was just like, shut up, Sheena. But I loved it when, because Katie went in and she was trying so hard not to cry and she did a great job. But I loved it when she's like, anyone who is, cosigns his bullshit as a trash human being. And she's like, Sandoval is a demon, basically. And I just loved her in that
Mm.
moment.
Oh yeah,
Loved
I think.
Katie in that moment.
Well, and I
That's why
think
I
she's
said
got a
I
lot
need
of.
her to wake up, and she
Well,
is.
yeah,
And
I
it's
think she's
great.
got a lot of pent up resentment that she needs to kind
Well
of get it. Yeah.
deserved. Well deserved. And nobody's asking Katie how she feels.
Well, because did how much did Katie bite her tongue just for Ariana when her and Tom are together?
Yeah,
Now she
exactly.
can finally say what she really thinks.
Well, no, and it wasn't just Ariana, but also every time she never bit her tongue really. It was but every time she said something, her husband would shut her down or tell her she was a buzzkill. I hate the sound of your voice. He actually said that to her on camera, so I don't know. But then again, Katie said, "Why don't you tell him how your dick don't work either?" So they were not a good couple, and so it was funny. But I
Well,
didn't know if you had any more thoughts about Katie's or anything that she had said that because she said quite a bit, but it was good. It was
yeah.
all
No, like I
true.
said, I'm pretty much seeing eye to eye with Katie and Lala right now.
Yeah,
They're kind of my favorites on the show
yeah, they're
because
doing they're
they're the
doing
ones
pretty good.
that are kind of taking a step back and saying, hey, look.
Yeah, and isn't it interesting? They are thinking the most clearly, and I'm agreeing with both of them the most, but it's almost like they're on opposite sides.
Mm-hmm.
It's isn't that crazy, the juxtaposition? Like,
Well, I think that Katie wants people to see Sandoval for who he is.
yes, I think so too.
And Lala wants people to just be like, we're all fucked up. Let's just roll on.
And I think also Lala wants to make decent television,
Oh, yeah.
especially if she's going to be having another baby. Okay, and so we move on to Tom and Lisa. This was a Lisa heavy
Mm-hmm.
episode, but Tom brings oh sorry. Tom brings
Ice cream.
ice cream, and I was like, what the hell?
Oh,
Because
wait,
the
no.
first time James got sober,
Mm-hmm.
he did the same thing. Instead of drinking, he would go and have
Ice cream.
ice cream.
Well, there's worse things to do.
No, but it's weird.
No, but one thing I did notice, and this kind of goes back to what they were talking about in that New York Times article, when they were talking about how Tom is so living in this hyper reality now, right? Like he's just kind of always on.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, like, when he first walks in, do you remember what he says to Lisa? Should we film the garden? Right? Like,
Is that what he said? He didn't
yeah,
say speak or
yeah,
talk?
yeah. He wasn't like, where would you like to go sit down, or where do you want to sit? It was just
Oh,
like, what do you want to film? Like, where do you want our stage to be?
oh my god, I
Yeah,
totally missed. What?
yeah. And
Loser.
it's just kind of, and that's what I mean. It's like, it's so sad. It's just so sad. It's like, dude.
But he has Lisa wrapped. around his finger in a lot of.
Oh yeah, that's. I mean, I get that. Like because Lisa, I think is she's. I mean, let's face it, she's a camera whore too. Like she knows where the dollar signs are at.
But it kind of made me mad because they keep talking about Rachel and she's not even there. And like, I know the full story of what they're talking about because well, first I thought it was funny when Lisa was like, yeah, I had an extensive conversation with her. And Tom was like, you did? She blocked me. And Lisa's like, she blocked you? Well, then it's done.
I just had like this like Will Smith moment, right? Where I was just like, keep her name out of your goddamn mouth. Or whatever he said. I don't actually even know how it went down, right? But that was my every time that Tom says, I just miss her,
I know.
I just miss her, I just want to give her a hug. And it's such bullshit. Like, fine, but Lisa finally gave him what he needed. He needed permission to be able to stop fucking saying that.
Yeah.
Because he felt obligated to say it.
I'm wondering if she had an extensive conversation with Rachel, if during that conversation they knew she was done and not coming back, and that's why they're doing this, because later on they talk about maybe moving on. But on when he was in his confessional and he's like, yeah, apparently if you don't do everything they say, you're bad. And because he was trying to make it sound like he was excited for her to leave and blah, blah, blah. Well, he actually told Rachel, well, this is what she said on her podcast. She said that he said he had never seen her that weak and dependent on other people before, and that she should just leave so that they could be together.
Oh yeah, so that's the whole, she thinks you're manipulative.
Yeah, and so, but in his confessional, he's trying to make it sound like, oh, she cut him off for irrational reasons. Well, and he didn't really ask her to leave the facility. He was just...
Right,
but from Rachel's mouth...
Well, yeah, I mean, I think...
It's a completely different story.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious, like, oh, what a fucking piece of shit. Now that you say... Because we're kind of arguing about his whole Tony Montana bullshit he had going on in the confessional. Now... he wants to play the villain. He's like, okay.
No, I don't know. I think he's trying to be the
or maybe,
good guy.
Okay, well then maybe it's a Freudian wardrobe slip, a Freudian wardrobe malfunction.
And I don't
that's
even
the title.
mean he's ass.
Yeah, that's the title of this episode.
What? Freudian
wardrobe malfunction. Because he's nowhere near a big a piece of shit as Tony Montana, but he can identify with Tony Montana.
No, I just think he is thinking this is a cool vintage look, and it brings my mind to Tony Montana. I don't know, like, because
no, but not to say, now that you're saying it, like I'm gonna.
It's been giving me that vibe since.
I'm gonna bring my Freud out. Drop some Freud on him. But no, like, because, but going back to his sort of manipulation, one of the things that I really, and I guess I'm kind of seeing Ariana's point too about, because one of the things that has kind of been bugging me with the whole Ariana thing is she's kind of doing this whole, like, I'm being a bitch about this because I want to protect you from Tom.
Yeah.
Right. And so, and then that whole thing's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
But then I'm thinking about it, that's.
That's his MO, though. Maybe people need to be protected.
Well, and that's the thing, because what's happening with Sheena is when you look at her in Tahoe, right, and how distressed she was about kind of being pulled apart by these two people. And she was kind of being, with Tom, she's being pulled back into an abusive relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what's happening. It's sad.
It is.
You know, and so yeah, I'm starting to kind of more see Ariana's point on that. The only problem is that, you know, it doesn't make good television. So people growing up is, you know,
it's sad, except for the fact that Sheena honestly believes that he's more upset about losing her than Ariana, so she's a little delusional, I think. And she makes everything about her. That's why I think this episode is hilarious. And the producers are so shady. And, you know, she probably said these things exactly as many times as we saw them over I don't know how long, but the producers made sure to put every time Sheena cried about herself.
oh yeah,
They put it in there, and I thought that was pretty funny. Okay. Okay, and so then we go to Lisa's office, and we're going to talk about sperm donors.
Or Lala's office.
Yeah, who did I say? Lisa's? I meant, sorry.
Lala's. Oh yeah, she talked about getting a sperm donor.
Yeah, and after Randall, I completely understand her take, and
yeah, I don't blame her. Like I totally get her reasoning for wanting to just be able to raise a child by herself and not have to worry about.
And she's in a good position where she can do it financially, and her family's around, and she has a little one that wants a brother or sister, and that'll be fun.
Well, yeah, there's lots of people that have to do it that aren't well off financially, you know.
I know, and like in the grand scheme of things, Scandival is nothing compared to the shit Randall is. Like, Randall Emmett is a monster. Did you ever watch the Randall scandal?
No, but I watched Entourage, so I can imagine.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It's loosely based, but I don't know. But the
debauchery, and I mean, I don't think that the debauchery depicted in that show is loosely based. I think you know that. I mean, you're the behind the blinds or whatever gal. Like, you know, each and every one person that had a cameo on that show was a piece of shit.
The man. Okay. And it wasn't all sperm donor talk. Lala also had to do a little tattling as well. Not so much tattling, but, you know.
Well, I think that's going to be Lisa's role in the show from now on. She's going to be like the mother hen. Yeah, that's everybody's going to go to and cry on her shoulder.
But I mean, the thing that Lala had issue with was kind of a big deal, you know. It was the whole Ariana not standing up for Sheena thing.
Yeah, with the picture.
Yeah. And I mean, whether you're on Sheena's side or not, or whether you like Sheena or not, like, if Ariana is her best friend, Lala's right. If you're scrolling on your phone all day, you can do a quick little message. It's, you know.
Yeah.
It wasn't that big of it would have made all the difference for Sheena, you know. But yeah, I think that Ariana is a little bit drunk with power right now. She's kind of like
Yeah, I think, well, and I,
whether it's valid or not, she's really
well,
really cashing in those chips.
yeah, but I'm also thinking that Ariana's, I think, in kind of a tough spot too because, you know, yeah, she did get shit on, you know. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, and it's like, it sucks she's got to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to give her some credit for those times that she just doesn't want to fucking deal with it.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, at some point. But I mean, as long as somebody can snap her back into reality, I mean, that's what you got friends for, right? Somebody to kind of like slap you in the face and be like, you're being a dipshit.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not sure if Katie's the right scene partner for her because Katie will totally yes man her to death if she's talking shit about Sandoval. I'm not saying Katie doesn't have a backbone, it's just Katie finally has somebody on her side in this. Well, because she did have Stassi and Kristen, but they're no
Mm-hmm.
longer on the show, and so now
So why are they off the show? Was it they just quit working at the bar and then
no, they got fired by Bravo for
didn't Stassi say some like racist shit or?
well, they both did. They're God, it's so like okay, it goes back to when Jax had an affair with Faith and he was dating Brittany. And Faith is a black woman. Now this was the time of George Floyd and all those things that were happening. And somebody had caught on camera, I don't know, a black woman committing a crime. I can't remember what it was exactly, whether it was holding up a gas station. I don't know. I can't remember what it was. But Kristen and Stassi were calling in the number on the poster and the video footage, and they were reporting that it was Faith, this black girl that Jax was that had, and they were doing it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was to get even, and I don't know if they knew what the implications would be, like the racial
Well,
implications, but they fucking should have. And then, I mean, Stassi's been doing and racist, saying racist things for a long time. I don't know if she still is, but back then, and she got away with a lot of it, but they called in and oh, and then they tried to say that Faith, who is ex-military, did her time, and they were trying to get her, I don't know, court martial, what do you call it, for going AWOL. Like they were
mm-hmm.
trying to turn her in for going AWOL from, I don't know if they tried actually getting a hold of anyone or if they were just putting it out in the world. But it's
Like, were they fucking high? Like, were they just sitting around
no,
like, I got a good idea? Like,
they were mean girls
well, I
getting
hope they
back
got the
at
shit
Faith.
suit out of them.
Yeah, I don't know if she
Because that's
dropped the
defamation.
charges. Oh
They might
God.
have settled.
Well, an emotional damage with everything that was going on at that time.
Mm.
But I wish I
Anyway, sorry, that
had
was a
more facts.
digression.
Yeah,
But
sorry. It wasn't good. And then yeah, I can't remember exactly why Brittany and Jax got let go, but I don't remember. Anyway, what were we talking about?
We were talking about
Oh,
what are friends for, and
oh,
that
Ariana and Katie.
yeah, Lala's a better friend, scene friend.
She would be. Yeah, she is. Because, oh, yeah, that's what we were talking about. Because Lala was filling Lisa in on the talk that she and Ariana had. And I don't know. Yeah, it's a good thing that Lala was there because she was pressing back, but not unreasonably, to Ariana. And then she finally got the apology, or she got the message. But anywho, next we see Joe and Schwartz as they're walking.
Are they meeting?
Yeah, they're going to Sir to meet DJ James Kennedy and Allie. But like on their way in, I'm just looking at Joe, and I don't want to be that bitch that's like coming down on other women's appearances, but with her hair all ratty in that baseball cap, I just thought, wow, that looks like me going out and about, but like not on camera. And she's a hairstylist. Like, wow, I don't think I would go to her to do my hair. Not if that's what I saw.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. I told the kids this riddle the other day. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not very hard. So there's a guy goes into this town. He's a stranger, right? Small town. He goes into Circle. Imagine we go into Circle.
Okay.
But in this version of Circle, there's 2 barbershops. This dude desperately needs a shave and a haircut. Walks into the first one. The fucking place is a pigsty. The dude that's working in there.
Let me guess, he's the best. That's why it's so messy. He doesn't have time to clean.
Well, I don't know about that. Can I finish my?
Sorry, I like guessing.
Okay, well let me give you all the information first, and then you can make your decision. Okay.
Riddle me this.
Ah, you're that kid. I'm just like.
I'm so sorry. I told you I was.
Please wait until the end of the presentation for your questions. Okay, thank you. All right. Now, where was I? Stranger in
messy.
Alternative universe Circle.
Messy barbershop.
Walks in the messy barbershop. Dude's hair looks like shit. Shaved, Goes over to the next barbershop. Dude's clean cut. Barbershop looks great. Clean as shit. Guy turns around, walks out, goes back to the messy dude and sits down and asks him for a haircut. Why?
Can I say my first answer?
Yeah.
Because he thinks that the place is a mess because the barber is that so good that he doesn't have time to clean it up.
No.
Oh, okay. Why? It's cheaper?
Well, until next week.
Seriously?
Leave your thoughts in the comments.
But mine was wrong?
Yeah. You're way overanalyzing this.
Okay, then he doesn't feel comfortable in the fancy place. Because he's in a small place like Circle. So
because there's 2 barbers in that town, and they each got to cut each other's hair. The dude that gets his hair, that's got the nice haircut, that looks good, gets his hair cut by the other guy.
Yeah, that's an assumption if I ever heard it. Maybe his wife is a salon owner.
Okay, well now you're bringing in information into the equation that wasn't in the first premise.
Well, so are you. Well, you're leading with the assumption that
I'm the one that's presenting the riddle. You're bringing in extra information. I never said these people were married. You
oh
cannot
my,
assume that from the text.
it's almost midnight.
I know.
No, okay. Anyway, moving on. We are talking about hairstylists, but we don't need to because DJ James Kennedy and Allie come and join them. And I told you that James was coming around with Sandoval because they start talking about Sandoval and speak of the devil. Sandoval's here.
Well, I think it's.
But
Well,
Allie said what I was thinking about the whole buying of his friendship because he has him try on those sunglasses.
yeah, but I also noticed that she was sitting there talking to Joe, and it was like, "Oh, is that Sandoval?" Like, "Oh, please, God, somebody just." That's because, as Schwartz says, Joe can be tough to deal with, apparently. So, Allie
I think
was.
she's quirky.
So even though Allie's like, I don't want to have a relationship with Sandoval and blah 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 blah, it's like, holy shit, dude, come and save me from this one.
That's funny. No, but yeah, so Sandoval comes in and he has James try on those sunglasses and they look like the same sunglasses that Tom Sandoval wore when he dressed up as drag and Kristen's boyfriend Carter called him Sia and he got so pissed about that comment. It's like one of my favorite scenes ever. But yeah, and then oh yeah, James says, "Yeah, Tom's like a big brother to me. He always buys me stuff and I always or he gives me gifts and I keep the gifts and the only gifts that I could think of was a watch and oh yeah, an engagement." But I mean,
it's
that's
right back. I like
25 grand under the bridge.
And it's back to the big, however much money he dropped into Sheena's account. Like,
Yeah.
everybody around him is paid.
Yeah.
Even these friends.
No, it's the classic cheater move. I cheated. Kobe. Well, yeah, the pink diamond, but no, even before that, it was like the cliche. I cheated on you. Here's your diamond bracelet. Here's your dozen roses. Oh, here's your gift in advance for the next time. And so, like, Tom Sandoval is just, making his rounds with his gifts.
Right, and this is where they plan the night out where they want to get dressed to the nines and all that shit, right? Like,
yeah, because he was giving. Allie said Elton John. I was like James Dean. I could totally see James Dean, but I always see James Dean with James Kennedy because he has that shaped jaw and the hair. And so, but when she said Elton John, James felt that he's like, Elton John. Like, I think Allie just probably doesn't know a lot of older references. Like, who's Blue Eyes? Sinatra.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what they're going to go for the boys' night, like old Hollywood glam, which is fun. I like to see guys dress up, but that's sort of their thing.
Do you want to see me dress up more? You want me to throw on a
Do you have a group of guys that you're going to go out on the town with?
Can you imagine going out with a group of guys in this town dressed to the nines in your suit and tie?
No, people would definitely think you were gay.
No.
Definitely. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but that's the assumption they would automatically come
But you
to.
know what's funny
Unless
that
it's prom.
you know what's funny that they don't have around here though, that was like down in Texas.
Down in Texas.
Like they had their own version of, the country club was a thing. You know what I mean? You go out
Oh,
line
line
dancing
dancing. I
to
know.
Texas do so, and huge ass
Don't
bars,
you
right?
remember
Like huge ass.
Desperados in Billings? It was like standing room only. You
I
couldn't
think I
even
went in there
dance on the dance.
once.
Oh yeah, you didn't live in Billings.
Yeah.
I did. That was a cowboy bar, and then
But I
there
mean,
was the
no, but I mean, in this place it was like pressed Wranglers and
yeah.
starched. There's starched, rodeo shirts and
That's
big
how the
cowboy hats.
bouncers
Yeah.
would dress
Mm-hmm.
anyway. And then after the PBR, or if there was a rodeo or anything cowboy or a country concert, like Desperados was the after. But that was just a really popular place for some reason. I didn't go there
Yeah, but
because I don't do a lot of country music, but I'd go there to meet
I
up with.
can, but I mean, I can't see the people at that place dressed up like that.
Oh,
Like,
really? On certain nights, yeah, especially like the PBR, because the bull riders would go
okay,
out
well, I get,
too and they would be dressed up. So it'd be like nights like that. But yeah, your regular night, but you would still have cowboys, and then they would wear their best Wranglers and shirts. I don't know if they were starched and pressed, but
mm,
they look
well,
nice.
but that's I guess maybe that's I'm biased. Like I think that
But that
Montana's actually got real cowboys and Texas has fake ass cowboys.
Texas,
Yeah.
like J.R. Ewing, did you not watch Dallas growing up? Like cattle ranches, and I think of oil
Oh
and
no,
cows.
there are like actual Texas cowboys. I'm not saying that, right?
Oh,
But
right.
I'm saying that there's also this whole city cowboy culture
Where they have mechanical
where
bull riders.
people think they're J.R. Ewing, not
The urban cowboys.
yeah.
Oh
They're
my God. Do you know how many of them you'd run into in
yeah. Like
Billings?
I talk to my kids all the time about
They would wear their stuff brand new from Corral West. Like it still did have the
mm,
seaming, and then the hats were, because the real cowboys that I grew up around that actually worked and lived on the
yeah.
cattle ranches, like when they would, theirs would be their nicest pair of Wranglers, and they had a pair of going to town boots
Mm,
and a going to town hat, and then like a nicer shirt. But they weren't starched, they weren't stiff. It
mm,
wasn't that. I mean, you can tell the difference between somebody who lives and works
right.
and breathes. Oh, yeah. Then how did we get on this
I have
topic?
because we were talking about those dudes. Imagining me in a suit in this
Oh, and
place.
yeah, no, you would stick out like a sore thumb. But yeah.
Well, I can still get away with just wearing a regular tie, though. I think to work,
Oh yeah, you did when you worked.
but
Remember,
I have
that's how.
Star Wars ties and
Yeah, I bought you most of your
English teacher
ties.
ties.
Yeah, I liked it when you dressed up. But you kind of looked like the principal.
Yeah, I don't want to.
You looked great.
I don't want to put anybody off. I don't want them thinking that I'm coming after their job because I sure in the fuck don't want that job.
Okay. So anyway, next we have a scene with Joe and Schwartz, and the place that they go looks so much fun. They order tacos and tequila, and they like get to play some games, and I think they're cute together. I mean, until you see the confessionals, they're really not on the same page.
Well, and it's kind of like, and is Schwartz just kind of leading this girl on? Is that
I
sort
don't
of?
know. I feel he gets to be his goofy self, you know, like how she's talking about, yeah, you said 2 to 3 years. He's like, yeah, I need to see what AI comes up with just in case. And then the aliens, I was just like, these are my people. I
Oh, yeah.
never saw Schwartz, this way with Katie. They weren't.
Well, and I think that might be part of it too, right? Because unlike Sandoval, who's gonna try to figure out a way to snake over to this other chick and try to keep the group together, and everything's gonna be normal, blah blah blah, with the whole plan, right? I think that Schwartz is actually respectful enough of Katie to not try to like bring some new person into the act like the other.
Yeah, till they start dating the same person.
Well, I mean, we'll see how that develops. But this Joe person, this person who Schwartz seems to be kind of a completely different vibe, has a completely different vibe with.
Yeah, but I feel like he's also going an extra mile. You never saw Katie and Schwartz have a date night. Although I feel like Katie wouldn't be as fun. Joe's kind of a fun person. She's just lighthearted, does not take anything.
Oh yeah, Katie's gonna just like whip out a fucking pop quiz about what kind of Italian pasta. How many kinds of Italian pasta can you identify?
Something like that.
Penne.
But
was it penne? You didn't know what penne was?
Yeah, that guy from Emo Night didn't know what penne was. Yeah, I don't know. Was there anything else that happened with?
Not that I can recall. No, I don't think so.
Okay, and so here's kind of where we have dueling guy girl night, where the girls are gonna have astrology. So we'll be playing ping pong back and forth from the steakhouse to astrology. And so first up, Tom and James, they're looking good at the steakhouse. And then we go to Allie's house and they show a clip of her playing the guitar, and she said she wanted to be Taylor Swift, but there's only one Taylor Swift, so I became an astrologer. And then like I say, we ping pong back, and Sandoval enters, then Brock, and I don't know. Okay, and
Sandoval's trying to look like James Bond or something.
Oh yeah, because he wears a full-on tux.
Yeah.
But then,
well, he's not going to be outdone. You know what I mean?
No, he loves a theme.
He's an Abercrombie model. Was it Abercrombie?
Oh, I'm sure he was, or probably tried to be. But anyway, we get into some of the readings, and I zeroed in on Sheena yet again, crying about how she has to put herself first.
Well, it's hard to put yourself first when you don't ever put yourself first. She's
always
she's swimming against the current of her own instincts. Apparently.
I thought it was funny when Katie says, "Oh, the reason that she has big dick energy is because she had a big dick in her past life." No, like I said, Katie wakes up in this episode, but Allie was dead on with Ariana because she is killing it by 2024, financially. And I think that it was like the way that she was opening up to the girls
Mm-hmm.
about how she was broke and everyone thought she was making bank. It kind of put some of those girls in their place, like especially Sheena, who'd
Mm-hmm.
been going through the episode saying how she's making so much money and
Yeah.
blah blah blah, but
Well, yeah.
she
I
was
mean,
on
they're
the
all.
verge of, well, because she was still with Tom and he was spending so frivolously, and like it or not, she still had to pay bills,
Mm-hmm.
and they were together. Oh, who was she talking to? Yeah, that's when I got mad because she was talking, I think it was Lisa, when she was, who was she telling when they were so unhappy?
Who
They were unhappy for years.
was?
Sheena said that about Ariana and Tom.
Well, it was when they were asking about who, who or wasn't it when they were asking like about? Was it Lisa that asked her about who um who she thought like he missed more, like Ariana or her?
Oh, that was Christina Kelly, I thought, who asked about that question.
Well, I think that's when it came up though, right? Because they were like, because she was like, yeah, because like
They were unhappy for a year. Yeah, she was just,
yeah, she doesn't miss Ari. He doesn't miss Ariana because their relationship sucked, but we were
oh, okay,
great. Like
yeah.
that was
That made me so mad.
yeah.
I'm just like, you're a shitty friend.
Mm.
Like, shitty
Well, that's that
friend.
bitterness about Dancing with the Stars coming out. I think like, that's some shit she's got to work through.
But then we go, I don't know what else happens really there. But the boys are talking about Rachel again, and Tom Schwartz, because Sandoval, he's like, this is his episode for I'm done with Rachel.
Yeah.
Let's bring on the new lady.
Yeah, I can totally see this whole the disgusting bros or whatever.
Well, now Tom's telling Tom to date, and Sandoval just seems so heartbroken about Rachel. And it's just like, I could not roll my eyes any harder. It's just like, what?
It's Tom and Greg.
What?
Tom and Tom are going to become Tom and Greg.
Tom and Greg?
Yeah, from Secession.
Oh, oh, I missed that. Yeah. But,
sorry, random reference.
No. But then, like, Ari, I just have Lala truth bombs. Oh, yeah, because, oh, yeah, this is where they start talking about James. And Ariana's like, well, if all it takes is one dinner to change his mind, then
oh yeah, because
they're all
gonna become besties, and they're bonding.
Yeah, but like, I think it's ridiculous how mad Ariana's getting about James, or heated about James, because she's never been that close to James. I think she just doesn't want anyone close to Tom.
Yeah,
No
she wants Tom dead. I mean, like if Tom dropped dead, she would not fucking care.
Well, the way the internet went after Tom, and even the friend group,
Mm-hmm.
I think it probably is a little shocking to hear, because, like, okay, we've had time to process. We've had time to get over
Mm-hmm.
it. So has Ariana in real time. But if I'm putting myself back there and just the vitriol everyone had, and it filled the space of, you know, between seasons,
Mm-hmm.
just kind of the internet trolling and internet hate. Like everybody hated Tom until like now I think people are softening up because it's getting old hating Tom.
Well, and I think, I
But
mean,
like Ariana, she is going from everybody just hating Tom and holding on to that, making money from it, whatever. And now
yeah, she gets to do
one
commercials
trip
and
to
humiliate him.
Tahoe and everybody's okay. And the way that Sheena's just sitting there like a timid puppy, like, that's an act. She could speak up for herself. She wants people to feel sorry for her. She wants to look like the abused friend, and she wants she wants Ariana's permission. And like, you're an adult. You don't need be like Lala. That's what I'm saying. Sheena fucked up by taking
Taking sides at the beginning.
yeah, where I don't know. Lala
She
did too, but she was more
she allowed Ariana to set the boundaries, set
yeah.
her boundaries for her,
Yeah.
instead of telling Ariana where her boundaries were. Yeah, this sucks for you, but here's where I'm at. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. But I this is when Katie and Lala fight again.
again,
Well, yeah, cuz they've had a history. Um Katie was the first one to kind of lead a charge against Lala her first season. I told you about the skinny dipping
mm-hmm.
incident, but that was a long time ago. Yeah, it's Katie. She's a very polarizing character, you know. I mean, she's had fights with everyone, but I think this is the first time you're seeing her use her voice. I liked it when she said, "Come at me with your full chest." No, nobody steps up to Lala really because,
Mm-hmm.
but I think Katie is just
Because Lala's straight from the trailer park.
Lauren from Utah. No, but Katie has been sitting here this whole season watching, observing, and now she's just had it. And I don't even remember what they were fighting about, but I was fully invested, and I was happy that Katie was, and doing more than just glaring.
Right.
Like she was getting in the middle of it, and then by the end they're like, I don't remember, but Lala's like, or they're like, yeah, that's Lala's communication style. And Lala's like, yeah, read my chart. And it all ends with a giggle.
Mm-hmm.
Except for Katie. They pan into Katie and she wasn't laughing.
Yeah. No, she's, like I said, I think, you know, the way it's been built up throughout the season is, you know, this long sort of like setup of actually bringing kind of everybody together, right? It takes from the time that, you know, um, the first episode when they go sit at, I don't know where they at Sir or whatever, you know, before Tom's even coming back, right? Like we don't even,
Yeah, I
like from
remember.
that time to just getting to Tahoe took frickin' forever,
Mm-hmm.
right? And now, okay, now it's like, okay, Tom's coming back into the group.
Well, and in this episode, it featured Sheena's The Battered Wife by Ariana. She's in the middle of this friendship and she's so torn by it. And woe is me. Grow up and just be friends with whoever you want. And Lisa was a lot of it.
Well, yeah, she's got to understand, like, if you're gonna be friends with Sandoval, don't say anything about it, and don't expect there to not be a little bit of tension between you and Ariana when you do that. Like, your relationship will not be the same.
Yeah, and I think the way that she's talking to other people about Ariana behind her back is far worse than having a conversation with Tom Sandoval.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Sheena's a very good person. Like, everyone loves Sheena, I'm sorry, but there have been times when what she has done has been downright ruthless. And I don't know what happened between her and her ex-husband. I know he wasn't good, but like she exposed his addiction on camera after he had dealt with it. And he even said that I didn't want it on camera because my family didn't even know. I dealt with it. I was sober at the time. And she goes, yeah, well, you fuck with me, I fuck with you. And that's what she said to him after they'd been divorced.
So she's sitting there on the couch, all doing her puppy dog thing, just plotting, scheming.
What do you mean? I don't know that
she's being fucked with
right now.
Yeah, is it all gonna blow up into some? We don't know. I'm just asking rhetorical questions.
I don't know. I think that, but like I said, I don't like that Sheena's acting like she's this amazing friend to Ariana when
she's talking behind her back.
Well, she's being, or she is using herself as the catalyst to make Ariana look like the villain. Honestly.
Yeah.
Because she's like, you won't let me have a friendship. And Ariana's like, no, I'm not going to be friends with. I don't like the way that Sheena's trying to look like a victim. And what she's doing to Ariana is dirty. If you break it down, it's dirty.
But like I said, I also think that...
Fuck the girl code part.
Yeah, but like I said, it's also Sheena, being sucked back into a abusive relationship.
With Tom.
Right. And
Lisa.
And she wants somebody, she needs Ariana's, sort of to be that buffer. Like, she's got to keep asking at least. You know what I mean? Whether she keeps on getting the no, she can sit there and play poor me. But I mean, I don't know. I just feel like...
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying.
I don't know if I'm explaining myself very well. I'm tired and...
I know. We should probably wrap it up. But exciting news, everybody.
What's that?
We got video coming up.
Yeah, we do.
Either next episode or the one after that. We got to play around with it and, get it just right. It's because we want it perfect for you guys.
Absolutely.
Our perfect little angels. And we are toying with the idea of covering the valley.
Yeah, we'll check it out, and
Yeah.
you know, maybe we'll recap the first episode and see if it's worth watching again. You know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to watch the well, it'll be sad too to watch the end of Jax and Brittany because they have a kid. So, I mean, the stakes are a lot higher with them, but we'll see. I hope everybody enjoyed this episode of our podcast.
Absolutely.
And even if you didn't, please smash that like and go ahead and subscribe and tell a friend.
Tell a friend. Tell all your friends. Share this to everybody.
Rock and roll.
All right.
Have a good one.